It's your boy, the Memphis Accelerate, welcoming you back to check this out. The show we take a look whatever deck we want to take a look at and have ourselves a good old time being in a troll deck, rogue deck, casual deck, or a meta deck. Today, everybody, we have ourselves the beginning of a little mini special here on the Check This Out show. We'll be taking a look at a whole bunch of decks that were donated to us via our Discord channel. So, I'm going to be starting that off with Ye Olden Super Quantals, Mighty Morphin Power Ranger themed archetype, trying to summon out Big Boy Magnus. So we have ourselves our deck today. We're showing off them combos and wombos, the what do's and the what not do's. Having ourselves a good old time. Thanks, of course, to our boy, the First Alchemist, who sent us this deck, like I said, via our Discord. So we're going to be taking it out and showing off what our boy cooked. So we have our deck here today. We're going to be showing it off on yugioh Pro, that Wild West Yu-Gi-Oh! And seeing what the Super Quants do. Make big Magnus boy. So, of course, you want the whole deck profile. That's going to be at the end as always. For now, though, let's head on right into the action and show off what Super Quantals can do. Alrighty, here we are, everybody. First opponent, another day, and another card game. So, with our deck, we do prefer first, but you can also go second. It's not one of those decks that you need to go one or the other, but we'll see where it's going to go. Opening hand's not perfect, but it can get us started. Let me think, Not the perfect opening hand that speaks with mighty power, but it has the potential to be good later in the duel. For now, though, we'll start with Super Quantum Red Layer. He's a big part of the combo, good old Red Layer. He is the Mighty Morphin, leader of the team and all that good stuff. But you prefer to start with Alphin to get your combo started. That's your, number one dude is getting Alphin on the board. So we're up against Constellars. Okay. Constellars are neat. I haven't seen Constellars. I mean, he's actually playing Constellar Belt and the Field Spell, which is even new. Let's see. Teller, 200 points for every material. Teller is targeted for an attack. Send a Tellarknight from hand to grave to negate attack. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so we're up against the Tellarknight deck, as already stated, but, I'll say it again. It's the Tellers. So, we'll see where this is going to go. Good old summon it. It does something, the archetype. So, this will add a monster from the deck to the hand. Yep. That's fine. Go ahead and get yourself your monster. I'll let my opponent do some stuff, of course. I'm not just here to stop my opponent from playing the game. I'll only stop him if I have to. Which, I do have some nice stoppers here. I gotta go Forbidden Droplet if I really need to stop somebody, but thankfully, not yet. Not yet, but this will work just fine, I think. Don't think this is full combo, but it's going to be getting us a lot closer. We're going to activate our Layer 19, Prevent the Invasion, a very nice quick play spell with a bunch of effects. But the second one is King. It allows me to special summon a Super Quant if I have a Super Quant. And we're going to go for a good old blue... Well, I could go for Alphin. Nah, let's do different things. I've done Super Quants a billion times already, and a billion times more I'll do them. So let's do different stuff. We're going to summon out Blue Layer. When Blue Layer is special summoned, I can add myself Super Quantal, any monster I want from my deck to my hand. We're going to get Zaytan. We can use Zaytan's effect, since I have a Super Quant. Special summon it to my board, and I can change its level. So, it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to change my level for the heck of it. We're going to activate Zaytan's effect by tributing itself and sending one of our Super Quants to the grave. You always send Alpha Spike for this. So you always want this card in the graveyard. And this will let me summon out a monster from my deck. We're going to go ahead for Black Layer, who sadly doesn't yet have a Megazord, which I think is completely ridiculous. That this dude just does not have his own version of a Megazord yet, but that's just me. Alright, so having done all that, let's go ahead and make our first Zord thanks to Black here. And we're going to summon out the White Zord on top of him. And let's see here. Let's see. Oh yeah, I don't have Alphin, so I can't use my Field Spell Searcher. But that's okay. That is a-okay. Let me think about this. Yeah, let's go ahead and activate Lustrix's effect. I'm going to detach Black Layer from my monster. That's going to allow me to negate blue layer's effect, but this will also trigger the effect of black layer, which is going to allow me to add another super quant spell, and that way I can just get my field spell right there. And I'll be all set to summon Magnus, not the biggest Magnus in the world, but a Magnus nonetheless. So I activate our super quantum mech ship Magna carrier, the most unaerodynamic ship I've seen since Despot's field spell. And this basically is your go-to card. This is what you need on the board. Discarding cards from the hand turns your Super Quantals into Super Quantal Megazords. So I go for the Dolphin. And then, by detaching another card from my hand, or discarding it, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to go ahead and turn red into Big Old Lion Man. So now we're all set for days. Let's go ahead and... what are the odds he is playing Honest? Just in case he is, let's attack him first. Just in case. You never know. There could be an Honest on that hand. Nope. Okay. I had to make sure. Honest is one of those cards that can actually get around Magnus. So I had to make sure, but we made sure. So we should be all set for days here. Let's go ahead and just attack with everybody. You know, it's rare that you actually get to just do stuff with the Zords. I really wish that some of the new support just supported you just keeping these on the board. Which you could do. These all have quick effects because they all have the materials based on their colors. You know, reds and red and blues and blue. And again, I wish there was a black Zord, which... I don't know why there isn't a black Zord. There really should be. But regardless, let's go ahead and use Magna Carrier's other effect. By discarding it and targeting at least 3 of our Exceed monsters, I can go ahead and stack them all up and summon out Magnus Boy. Just make sure you never put him in the extra zones and never have him point to it, because then bad things can happen. But we're all set. I've got Magnus. He's not the biggest Magnus in the world. You know, he only has 6 materials, but that's bare minimum what you need to have on the dude. Because Magnus has different effects for every material that has on him. You know, I can attach a material to spin a card into the deck. 4 more. He's unaffected by everything except super quant cards. And most importantly, my opponent can't add cards from deck to hand so long as he's got at least 6 materials. So, with that being said, Alright. Got yourself an Altair. Cool. Got yourself a Lyran. Cool. Let's see. Okay. So, yeah, Lyran will summon itself out. Deneb will summon itself out. Deneb cannot search you anything. And, yeah, Lyran can't search you anything either. Or I guess I can do some... Oh, somebody's doing something. Who's doing something in the presence of Great Magnus? I demand to know. Oh. Alright, All-Terrain can summon himself back out. Okay. Let me think. Either player controls a basic monster, they must send all monsters they control the graveyard. I better not do that just yet. I could go for Karma Cannon, and that's tempting. But I'm fairly certain that Karma Cannon will send off Magnus, so I'm just gonna hold off on that. If he somehow makes something that's stronger than Magnus, or rivals Magnus, I would. But for now, I think we're okay. You can't search nothing as long as I got Magnus, and even if he makes something dangerous, I can spin it. If I really have to. Let's see. Banish Tellarknights and Stellar card. Attach material to this file. Blah, 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 blah. Effects get changed. Cool. Alright. He's got Cavius. He's going to go ahead and attach material. Banishing Ukulele Man, which will send another card to the graveyard. Interesting. Alright, he's certainly up to something. The question is, what is he up to? I don't know. Tellarknights are a tricky bunch. We shall see. See, this is where it would have been nice if I had, like, more materials, because then I could comfortably spin things. That's why, ultimately, what you want to do with Magnus is to get as many materials on him as possible. There is a card that lets me stack more materials onto Magnus, but it's a continuous trap, and, you know, I don't always get the darn thing. Let's see, what does this do? Detach material, something light monster from the hand. Cool. See, that's the thing. He's up to something. I gotta be careful. Because the minute I use Magnus' effect to spin things, it's not good. Also, Sirius won't... Well, one, he doesn't have enough cards. 2, it don't matter. What have we got here? Ptolemy M7. Target monster on the field or in the graveyard, turn to the hand. Okay. It's totally fine. I'm unaffected by that. And my opponent surrenders. Alright, well that is unfortunate. I was really looking forward to what my opponent was trying to do here, because I feel like they had a plan to get rid of Magnus, but then they realized that Magnus was unaffected, something like that. So, pretty good for our first duel just to get an idea of what our deck's trying to do. You know, all it really is with Super Quants is, much like with Power Rangers, you just getting the Zords out on the board, combine the Zords into a giant robot, and then smack the opponent. So, let's go over duel number 2. Show a bit more what the deck can do. Let's try to focus on some other stuff, because we've seen Magnus. I'd like to do a duel where we just keep the Zords on the board, try and go for our Link Monster, stuff like that. Alrighty, second opponent. Let's go and do it again. Alrighty. So I joined a random room and I realized they have like a short timer, so I gotta make this one quick. So let's go ahead and start with E-Telly. Just go ahead and get E-Telly on the board. Start with old Blue. Good old Blue, what do you do? And we'll just see where it's gonna go. You know, sometimes you have your strategies, your combos all sorted out ahead of time. Sometimes you just kind of have to, you know, go for it, you know? Sometimes just go for it, man. And that's what I'm hoping to do here. So let's go ahead for Zaytan. My plan, because I did say I wanted to do this, is I'm going to try and get as many Zords on the field as possible here. That way, I can just kind of do what I want to do. So let's go ahead and special summon Alphin. Try to get Alphin's combo going. And let's go ahead and tribute him off. Pick out 3 Super Quantals from our deck. And then one of them goes to the field, the other one goes to the grave. So we always pick black, red, and white for this one. And hopefully my opponent picks black, because then you get the best combo. And that would be the best combo right there. So we'll see what we get. Hey, we got him. Very nice. So now we're going to activate black's effect to turn him into Lustrix. We're going to pick red's effect to bring back white. And then white's effect will just search another Alphin, which isn't that important, but I'll have it. More importantly, I just have the ability now to get my field spell, and that's like the most important thing to me right this minute. That's the most important bit. Let's get ourselves black layer. Let's go ahead and make Ouroboros, because I don't think I'm going to make green. And we're going to attach material. Sure. Let's go ahead and, yeah. Gotta make this semi-quick. Gonna go ahead and detach a couple things. Go ahead and get our field spell on the board. We're gonna activate the field spell and detaching ourselves Ouroboros. Go ahead and make Lustrix with the white layer, so we have that around. And then we're gonna go ahead, sure. I guess, it doesn't really matter too much. I'm just gonna draw myself another card. Ooh, Magnus Slash, cool. But let's go ahead and use our Magna Carrier as well. Discard another card, doesn't really matter right now. I just want to do something different, so I'm gonna make myself a big old dolphin. And obviously I could make Magnus, so I guess let's do it. You know, I'm going back and forth. Like, I want to do different things, but then I'm like, I'm just going to make Magnus this time, just to have him around. And then we're just going to end our turn before I run out of time. That'll do it. See, even in a pinch, it's not hard to make Magnus. And hey, we have him with 7 materials this time. He's even stronger than before. But this is really why I feel like Magnus and, like, Super Quants in general kind of fall flat in a sense. Because, you know, I kind of wish that they had another Xyz monster, you know what I mean? I wish there was another giant Zord. Like, there's the Link monster, as you can see, big old Blaster Magna. He's really cool in certain situations, if you can put him on the board and then Xyz after that. Ooh. Oh, it's Moissanite, which thankfully he cannot use. Oh, thank Lord he can't use that. But yeah, it would have been really cool if there was another giant Megazord that had, like, I don't know, a going second focus to him. Because Magnus is clearly going first. I would have really liked a going second big boss. But regardless, let's go for the Magnus Slayer sword. I can attach it onto Magnus as a equip spell. It can gain a bunch of attack points. And what was the other thing? Yeah, during the battle phase, I can ditch it to attack thrice. So let's go ahead and go for our little mascot character one more time. Might as well. No reason not to. Yeah, it's an unfortunate thing. What do you call it? Skull Servants. Skull Servants are a really cool archetype, but one of my favorite old school beatdown archetypes. If they can't search, that doth make an issue for them. And that is kind of Magnus'. He's basically drawing Lockbird on, like, giant robot mode. That's what he is. Okay, we get white layer this time. That works for me. So let's go ahead and just do all the effects, because that's what we do. And let's see, red layer will summon... Actually, let's get green. Green hasn't been on the board. I want to let all the Super Quants do something today. If I don't, it just doesn't feel right. So yeah, black layer will then get me another card as well. I got Zaytan if I need it. Let's see. Are there any other cool... Let's see. Shuffle as many cards your opponent controls as possible into the deck. Your opponent special summon a monster from the X deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. You know what? I'm gonna get Elfin Strike. I'm actually gonna add Elfin Strike. Reason being, I just want to do it. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you other than I just want to do it. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead for Zaytan. See where this is gonna go. Summon out Zaytan. Make it level 7 just for the heck of it. Let's see. Oh, wait. I need to tribute this off. I apologize. I kind of forgot that bit. This is fine. The one bad thing is I have to watch the timer so much because it's like half as much as usual. But let's go ahead and make blue layer, and I'm just gonna attack for now. I'm just gonna attack because if I run out of time, I'm gonna feel very silly. So let's just attack Moy the Knight. And I'm just gonna ditch Magnus Slayer so I can attack 3 times. I got a 3600 beat stick. I think that's plenty. So let's attack this dude with everything. Oh, tricky white baking. Normally that would have been just horrible for me, but thankfully Magnus just hates search. He doesn't want people to search. It's kind of a weird effect, but it's what he does. Alright, so, yeah, he's got that burial. Nice tech for Skull Servants. Not a help here. So, there's another win for the Magnus boy. Okay, now that we've Magnus people twice, let's actually focus on the other stuff. Win or lose, doesn't really matter. I don't care. We've done Magnus service. We've gotten him on the board. We've shown up how oppressive he can be. Let's try to summon out the Link and just forgo Magnus one way or another. Just let's do other stuff. Alright, everybody, our third color in the fight, and third, let's get right into it, and summon out new stuff. With this hand, Alphen, of course, is here to tempt me and be like, hey, you should totally just make Magnus again. No. No, we will not. We will not do that. Instead, what I'm seeing, yeah, we're up against Mementos. Oh, Lordy Pepper. I know that Mementos have, like, new stuff. Relatively speaking, they have new stuff. And they have fusions, and I know they have a lot of negation and stuff, and the whole premise is, like, make big boss monster in the deck. So, we'll see. We'll see. I do have my board stoppers. That's pretty nice. I've got my Alfin to start things off, and I got a white layer if I really need it, so we'll see where this is gonna go. Like I said, my big concern is just doing anything other than Magnus, which is really, like, it's good with Super Quants that they're consistent making Magnus, but it's also very limiting because that's like all they do. It's kind of disturbing. Like I said, I wish they had like another big boss monster they could go to just to have a little bit of variety to their plays. But regardless of that, we'll sit through this guy summoning whatever horror this is supposed to be, and we'll see what we can do about it. We'll see what we can do about it. Oh, lordy, I think we're almost done with this guy's turn. Dear lordy, I thought this was Mementos. No, it's Fiend Smiths and DDDs, apparently. So, quite the impressive setup. Give props where they're due, I suppose. I mean, Fiend Smith's Desire is on the board. He's got multiple negates with that. He's got Mementoland, Tech Group, Combined Creation Man, and Horny Dragon, and DD Wave Servant. And this thing's huge, so, yeah, it's quite the board. Quite the board indeed. Let's see. Okay. Alright, well, having to deal with all this, I mean, we'll see if this works or not. I mean, I have no other option. So we'll go for Dark Ruler. No more. Negate every monster on the board. And then just Regeki everything. Because what else am I supposed to do? Alrighty, well that cleared a board. Let's see what bad things happen because I did that. I assume many bad things will happen. Let's see. If a monster is destroyed, target a monster, summoning a memento low level from the hand of the graveyard. Okay. And then somebody else is doing something too. Alright. So Akihuron comes back, and who else comes back? Who else will return from the land of the dead? Ghost in the attic, of course. Let's see. This will add back a card. Okay. Alright. I don't know if I can survive the follow-up to this, but I'm gonna give it a shot. Alright, let's go ahead for good old Super Quantum Alphen. No matter what happens, I gotta do something with this furball, so we'll see how this is gonna go. Am I gonna get bodied by Karibo's cousin? Maybe. Maybe. I won't deny that that was quite the impressive combo. I just kind of too carded to get out of, but I don't know if I'm fully out of the hole just yet. We'll see. So let's go ahead for Elfin. See how many Ash Blossoms we... Yeah, there we go. I can see the future. The future is that. The future is Ash Blossom, basically. Okay. Well, that is unfortunate indeed. Let's see how this is gonna go. Because he still has Bone Party, and he still has Sleepy Peepee. Alright, Sleepy. Sheepy. What does this guy do? This is let Infusion Summon on my turn. Gosh darn, I don't think there was one thing I could have done against this. Here's the thing, even if I had Magnus, I mean, that would have probably slowed him down. But I just don't know. So I think this is one of those mismatches sort of situations where I intended fully to go for things other than Magnus, but I never got really a chance to do so. It was nice that I got to wipe a board out, but I don't think I can do anything after this. I don't think so. Target equal number of... Yeah, because this is just going to nuke my board, nuke his board, and there's nothing I can do about it, so... let's go ahead for a fourth duel. I know this is going to be a little long today, but, you know what, I want to give this deck one last chance to do things that aren't Magnus-related. Alright, everybody, our fourth and final opponent, the last chance at romance. Let's get our Magnus boys back on the board. But not going for Magnus, of course. That's still something we're not going to be trying to do here. So, let's see what we have for a hand. Not too shabby. It's an interesting opening hand. Let's go ahead and start with our E-Telly. Always want to start with E-Telly, get ourselves blue on the board. That way we can get things started up here. So, let's go ahead for Quantum Blue. See if we can bait things out and that sort of thing. Alrighty, blue layer will search out... where are we at? Zaytan. Yeah, give me some Zaytan action. There we go. So we'll get Zaytan in our hand, special summon the girl, and just go from there. The trickiest thing about Super Quantums is just doing things other than Magnus, and that is my goal here. So let's go ahead and send the Alphen Spike to the graveyard. Spike the Furball, that's what you want to do. And let's go ahead for just Alphen. Let's just get Alphen out and see what happens. I need him in the graveyard so I can get myself my field spell, so there you go. Okay, so red, black, and white. When do we get more ranges? It's nice that we have the Black Ranger, too, from the classic Power Rangers. When do we get like, the crazy colors, like, I don't know, the Orange Ranger, or the Gold Ranger, or the, I don't know, what are the colors we have? Like, where's the Plaid Ranger? Was there a Plaid Ranger? I don't think there ever was, but it would be funny as heck if there was. But yeah, I like that consistently we're getting the black, which is really funny, considering that this is supposed to be, like, randomized. But either way, let's go ahead and bring back the white layer, and we will search another Alphen, so we have some discard fodder. And we'll be good. Be A-okay from here. So Alphen is back in my hand. White boy is on the board. And we're going to go ahead and make ourselves a Lustrix, which... I'll probably make another Lustrix here. I'm just trying to, like, do some combos and stuff. You know how it is. You know how it is. Let's go ahead and negate effects and all that good stuff. Attach material, negate blue's effect, because why the heck not? And that way I can get my black layer to do his thing. And let's see, I already have invasion. Let me think. Super Quant is destroyed. Huh. You know, why not? I want to do different things, so let's get Alphen Call Appeal. Nice little backup in case something bad happens to my boys. And from there, let's go ahead and activate Alphen Spike. Get rid of some cards. Get our other boy on the board. We'll be all set for days. And let's see here. I'll have red and blue. I'm just thinking if I can get red on the board, right? Yeah. You know what? Yeah. Like I said, win or lose, I don't really care. I just want to do different things. So we're going to go for Pitch Black Quantum. Let's get Red Ranger on the board. Red Ranger gets special summon. I can just get back the spell so I can use it again. And that'll be pretty good. So we'll activate Magna Carrier. Discarding some really cracked cards. But I really want to get just as many Zords on the board as possible. So we'll summon out all blue. What do? We'll activate... and discard... I mean, he never went for any Ash Blossom, so I'm going to go off on a limb and say he doesn't have it. Let's put it that way. So let's go ahead and set a card. And let's see. No, I think we're fine. Do I want to make this as a quick... Oh, wait, hold on. What am I talking about? I'm just going to use Lustrix's effect to put white layer on this, so now it's a quick effect. And we're good! There you go. Where's the Magnus? Y'all might be thinking, answer, don't need it. Don't need it. I can do other things and still be fine. Because I have a quick effect spell trap removal, I have a quick effect monster remover, and a quick effect vex negator, which is going to get me some more cards. So I'm all set. There you go. I should also, like, here's the other things that Layer 19 does that are really helpful for us. I can change the monster to defense position. I can set a trap card from my deck to be activated in the same turn. Really nice, man. What are you doing? No! The Revenge of the Skull Servants. That's not good. That's really bad. That's really, really bad. Although, thankfully, it looks like they got, like, nothing. So, I don't know what the point of that was. Oh, that was the point of that was. Alright, yeah, there's nothing I can really do against that. Oh, balls. I mean, one good thing being that my opponent doesn't... Oh, I don't know what this last card is yet, but they don't seem to have, like, the Skull Servant hand. So, I do see myself losing a monster. Possibly. The thing is, if he goes to summon out the king, it's gonna be like, what, 1,000 attack points? Unless you change White Princess to this. To make his monsters bigger than mine. It's hard to say. Hard to say, but he has the King of Skulls on the board. But this is why we got Alpha-Call Appeal. If he destroys me, I can just summon and exceed from the extra deck, and then special summon a Quantum from my hand, deck, graveyard, listed on that monster, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Get me more stuff on the board, basically. Alright. What are you gonna do now? Vampire the Suck. Alright. What is this doing? Target a monster in your opponent's graveyard, summon to your opponent's field in defense position, but it becomes a Zambo. Interesting. Do I have a monster? I do. I do have those. That's right. I forgot I had monsters in my graveyard. Alright, so I get Zatan. That's cool. Very interesting method here. What is this guy planning? I feel like my boy, no pun intended, but he was in a hole, and he's trying to dig himself out of that hole, and he's trying. He's trying. Alright, so White Mare will special summon back the Lady in White. Okay. Always so ironic that she saw the Lady in White, and she's wearing a black dress. That's some card design right there, Konami. That's some card design. Okay. Alright. What are you gonna do now? Bigger vampire? Fascinating, I think. Fascinating indeed. So, that'll give you black layer. Cool. But if you send that to the graveyard... let's see. Oh, I see what they're doing. I see what you're up to. Okay. He's trying to use my two monsters as materials to either make Sheridan or Undead Vampire, one of the two. As I probably should guess, it would be Vampire Undead, because that's a Miller card. So, okay, that was cool. I mean, it's not over yet, but it's cool that he's, my opponent had a hand. It didn't feel like a good one at start, but he's trying. This dude is trying. Alright, what do we got? Green layer, I could I don't think I need to draw right now, but thanks for offer. Oh my lord, you got rid of nothing but spells. That is so bad, my man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, my Skull Servant brother. I'm sorry. You have the worst mills in the world. I can feel for you. Every time I want to play a mill deck, or not, maybe not every time. I say it every time. It used to be every time I felt like I had bad mills, but, I've had some good ones too. Alright, so, here's what's going to happen. Vampire is going to hit somebody. Who? Don't know yet. Gonna hit I would have hit the red one, but that's you. Alright, but that's going to activate the effects of White Layer, which will add an Alphen. And red will activate, and that will let me special summon back Lustrix. And I'm going to activate my Alpha-Call Appeal. So now I can special summon the green one, just because I haven't summoned it. And we'll be all set. Chumbo. Hey, hello. There you go. Get me an Alphen, even though I already have one. You can never have enough plushies. I guess. I don't know. I'm not a plushie guy. But if you are a plushie guy, you can never have enough. Alright, so now my opponent's got stuff, and we should be good. Ooh, Magna formation. Nice. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to activate Ouroboros' effect. We're going to attach green layer onto him. So, what was the effect of this thing? I can target a face-up monster to put it face down, which is neat. I don't really need it right now, but it's neat. Activate Alpin. Go, Alpin. Get the other chipmunks on board. Okay. Let's go ahead and get black, red, and white. Let's see what happens. It doesn't really matter. I still want black layer, but I'll take white layer. One of those two would be my preference here. It doesn't really matter too much. Okay, we'll get red layer. I should have known. Alright, so red layer is going to get me back a card. Which card is a good question. I don't think it really matters too much. Let's get back another layer 19. Why not? So that's going to activate. Let's go ahead and activate black layer to search a spell. And we'll use white layer to get Alpin. Again. Again, just give me all my plushies. I need them. I need them. Desperately. Okay. I guess I'll get Alpin Spike. I have no intention of playing this. Because it's like a... Here's the thing. If you have enough Quantums on the board, which the exceeds don't count as, by the way, you can shuffle all your opponent's stuff back into the deck, but they get a free extra deck summon, so it's not exactly an ideal sort of thing to do. But regardless, let's go ahead and use Magna-Liger's effect. Pardon. Let's see. I can't target this. Excuse you. Wait. Target a monster on the field, destroy this. Oh. Can this not be targeted by stuff? That's not good. Alright. Okay, well, that doth make things more complicated. Because my monsters aren't big enough to beat over this thing. I really don't want to do this. Oh, man. I don't want to do that. Let's see. That is so annoying. Why can't I target this thing? Is it... Wait. Oh, there you go. I never knew it could do that. Okay. Alright. Let me think about this. Because normally Blaster Magnet would be the guy. Okay, I guess I'll... I really don't want to do... I was really gung-ho about not doing this. But... at this point, it's the only monster I can summon that will actually do something about my opponent. But I ain't happy about it. So I'll make Magnus. I'm not going to keep him around too long. I do still want to, I want to get rid of this. Do other things. Alright, so main phase the second. Let's activate our prevent the invasion. Yeah. We'll get out blue. How do you do? Blue will get me a Z10. That way I can set up for other cards as well. Set up for different combos and wombos. Let's go ahead and add to our hand. Where is Fairy Zaytan? Just best card to get in this situation. That's what I want to do. So, get out Zaytan on the board. Change its level just for the heck of it. I cannot summon at the moment. Let's see here. Activate Zaytan's effect. Let's see. Sending a Magnet Carrier because I don't need it. And that will summon from the deck. I guess Black Layer. I probably could have, I probably should have exceeded first, or linked off first, but this is fine. So let's go ahead and just make Lustrix. Just make all the Lustrixes in the world. And attach a white layer to it. And let's see here. Yeah. Screw you, Magnus. I already used you once. Also wanted to show that if you do lose Magnus, all of these effects are going to go off. So we're going to go ahead and recover some cards. Let's get back Zaytan. Let's get back blue. Let's get back one of these. That'll activate that. Magnus does have an effect where he's sent to the graveyard, which will revive my Beastie Boys. And then green. Let's go ahead and use green. Just discard, draw another card. There you go. Hey, it's something different. And that's what I wanted to see. So we're just going to put everybody on the board. I should definitely end my turn soon. And yeah, we'll end our turn now. Because I'm almost out of time. I have no choice. So, alright, there you go. We did something different. You can't tell me I didn't. Let's see. To activate our Magna Formation trap card. No. If I need to, I can put a material on the board onto a monster. If he targets me with something, I do that. But we're good for the moment. I've got my Lustrix. He's got that quick effect to negate stuff. I've got Blaster Magna. Okay. I said I wanted something other. I went for Magnus for a minute because I had no choice. There's always a choice. There's always a choice. I made the choice to keep the duel going. But now we got Magna on the board. What is he doing now? You gonna go for a suicidal attack? I hope not. Okay, my opponent surrenders. Okay, well, they held out for a while in the face of Magnus, as short-lived as he was, so I'm happy with that. So, applause for the Skull Servant players today for being troopers. So, let's go ahead for the end screen, and we'll talk more about this deck. Alrighty, everybody, so Super Quantum Power Rangers a go-go. That's a terrible name for a deck, but that's what I'm going with, because I always name these at the end of the episode after they've done stuff. So, our Super Quantals did their thing. It's a pretty simple combo when you get down to it, compared to some other archetypes and some other, like, meta decks. It's, like, simple. It's very simple when you get down to it that Super Quantums... No. Alrighty, everybody. Super Quantal Rangers a go-go. It's a terrible name for a deck, but that's where I'm going with it. So, we have our deck, and we did pretty dang good with it. Super Quantums, they got their support, and they're very much better to do what they are trying to do. Just get out Magnus onto the board. It's a lot less complicated than, like, you'd think with this deck. It's actually, compared to some other decks, it's very simple to do. It does make me wish that Super Quantums had, like, another boss to go into. Don't get me wrong, Magnus is absurdly OP for what he does. And, well, Blaster Magnus doesn't do as much, but he's cool to go into. It would have been nice to have a new Exceed that, you know, has a going second property to it. Maybe, like, nuking monsters or something of that nature. I don't know. Maybe that's going to be the Black Megazord. That would be cool. But we got to do what we wanted to do in today's deck. We summoned out Magnus, summoned him some more, tried to do some other stuff as well. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out perfectly with that, but we gave it our best shot doing things other than Magnus. So I applaud myself for that, if nothing else. So hope you all enjoyed today's episode. If you did, don't forget to hit up all the good buttons down below. Help support the channel. And here is the deck profile for anyone who wants to know what we were playing with today. So for our deck today, we have ourselves 3 of all the Super Quant monsters. That being White Layer, Black Layer, Red, Green, Blue, Alphin, and Zaytan. We have ourselves our spells. We got 3 copies of Regeki for clearing off monsters on the board. I went into the side deck and I have for Lightning Storm and Harpy's Feather Duster, and that off chance I needed some background removal, that sort of thing. We can also discard these if we don't need them. 3 copies, of course, of Triple Theatrical Talents. That lets me get normal spell traps from my deck to my hand. Lets me get things like Dark Ruler or Raigeki if I happen to need them. We, of course, have our 3 copies of Dark Ruler No More. As well, it will stop me from doing damage. It'll clear the way of all those nasty monsters on the board that just stop everything. We have ourselves our 1 Pot of Avarice, which I play on occasion. Blue also can recover cards, so this isn't as important. But it does let me draw some more cards from the top, so having a pot or 2, not a bad idea. 3 copies of Alphin Spike. It has an effect on the board, which you almost never want to play. But you did just to the grave and banish it with Alphin to get your field spell, which is very important. 3 copies of Alphin Call Appeal. Nice little card that you don't see as much. I kind of wish I had like a banish effect to give it some protection to your boys, but you know your monster gets destroyed, you get an Exceed from the deck, and then you get a monster from the deck that's listed on that Exceed. So just keeps monsters on the board, keeps the flow, it keeps the duel flowing. We have 3 copies of Forbidden Droplet, much like with our Dark Ruler No More, just to stop my opponent's monsters from doing whatever they want to do, discarding cards that I don't need in my hand or on my field, what have you, and just stopping stuff. 3 copies of E-Telly, very useful in this deck, because Blue Layer is another one of our big starting cards in this deck, and it's a Psychic, so very important to have E-Telly. 3 copies of the new Layer 19 for Prevent the Invasion. There's 3 different effects on 1 spell. You got your start 'em up, your defensive option, and getting your trap cards. Very nice card indeed. 3 copies, of course, of our Magna Carrier. Technically speaking, you only need 1, but at the same time, there's no reason not to have a couple extra copies of this card, just in case, you know, you get Ash Blossom New Oblivion. You'll at least be able to have this in the hand at some point. So, 3 copies of Magna Carrier. We have 3 copies of Destructive Dharma Cannon. risky card to play in the deck because of how Magnus works. I could be wrong, but I'm fairly certain you play this card with Magnus on the board, then either your Magnus gets flipped face down, which is not ideal, or he's just going to go to the graveyard, which would trigger all the materials effects, but at the same time, not ideal. But it's a nice defensive option if you happen to need it. You have 3 copies of Magnus Slayer Sword. Makes Magnus bigger, allows Magnus to attack 3 times, if you get rid of it, but still, it's just massive damage potential. And then lastly, a couple copies of Magna Formation, just to give you some more materials onto your monsters later in the duel. You can put Magnus, give more Magnus materials, there you go. And it also prevents Super Quantals from being targeted with card effects during main phase 1, which is useful. It's pretty useful, especially if you go into, more turns, past turn like 2. Of course, we have for our extra deck, pretty basic stuff. 2 copies of Blaster Magna. Nice little alternative bossy sort of monster in this deck. Gives you some draws when your Exceed monsters leave the board, that sort of thing. There's 2 copies of Grand Pulse, Spell Trap Removal. We have Ouroboros, can put monsters into defense mode. 3 copies of Magna Lyriker as Monster Destroyer. 3 copies of Lustrix as Monster Effect Negator. And 3 copies of Great Magnus, which I would put him as 2 if there was another boss monster, but he's still the OG boss of Super Quantals. Of course, for our side deck, we have things like Dark Hole. If you really need to clear boards, go for things like Dark Hole. You have things like Pot of Avarice if you need more recovery. You have Evenly Matched, much the same vein. It all depends on what your opponent is playing. If your opponent's playing certain things, you're going to be playing Evenly Matched over Raigeki, over Lightning Storm, that sort of thing. It all depends on what you're up against. You have Torrential Tribute at 3 if you're going first and have bad hands, or you just need to wipe out boards. It's an option. It can do stuff for you. It doesn't affect Magnus, so that's also a plus. 3 copies of Jar of Avarice to recover any card in the deck and then draw more cards. So, nice, again, another recovery option. It all depends on how much of a grind game you're going to think you're going to be in. And lastly, another Magna Formation if you feel like you need it, but I feel like 2 is plenty. So, that was today's episode, everybody. Hope you very much enjoyed it. And next time on Check This Out, because I'm trying to... I got a bunch via Discord. I really want to pop them off one after another. We're looking at a 60-card Gamble deck, so that's going to be an interesting one. Let's see how that one's going to row. It's very much a Desperado Dragon sort of build, and I'm looking forward to it. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Till next time, y'all stay safe, stay happy. You have a good one. I'll see you on the flip side.